This video is to document the New Mexico Backcountry Discovery Route done July 7th through 13th of 2019 by Bill Luce on a BMW R1200 GSA, Dave Callaghan on a KTM 690 Enduro R, Mike Welch on a BMW G310 GS, and John Davis on a KTM 690 Enduro R. Three of us drove 600 miles from DFW to Angel Fire, New Mexico, and Dave Callaghan rode from his place to Angel Fire about 125 miles. Day one of riding was going from Angel Fire down to Ruidoso, where we were planning to start. We had breakfast at a cute little joint in Angel Fire. The ride to Ruidoso was nothing special, as you'll see on the following videos. See rain ahead, so we stopped to put on our waterproof gear. Good thing. The real start of the BDR for us was Ruidoso to Truth or Consequences. And this was our first foray off the blacktop onto gravel. Eventually we broke out of the woods and took a route around the White Sands Missile Range. There were short stretches of soft sand as well as washouts. There was also one or two little mud patches that we had to negotiate. And here's a photo of the group at the missile fin at the White Sands Missile Range. Our third day was from Truth or Consequences to Reserve, and the ride through Chloride Canyon was fantastic. Although not much of one, this was John's first hill on his KTM 690. This is the beginning of Chloride Canyon, by the way. We encountered this intimidating hill that has taken down many a motorcycle, but not today.
Hit left. Uh-oh, thrown into the middle. And really at the top. Boom! Yeah.
This section was not overly technical, but quite scenic. We ran across a large herd of elk, but Mike zooms past them, scaring them off before John could get a good look. Here we're taking a break in some shade we found. We'd been on a long, boring gravel road after Chloride Canyon, and here it turns up the hill and gets rocky and challenging. Eventually, we end at the top at 9,500 feet, then back down similar terrain. The view from the top was spectacular. Day 4 was from Reserve to Springerville. Lots and lots of gravel and dirt roads. Nice scenery, but not much of a challenge. It did start with this scenic ride through the woods. And later, John took his eye off the ball and whoops! Once in Springerville, we were going to do a little scenic loop, but Dave had a flat tire 5 miles out of town, so we had to stop and do a repair. My GoPro battery died, so I didn't get any more, but one trip to the hotel to get tools, a trip to Ace Hardware to get some duct tape, a tube change, 1.5 hours later, and we were back to the hotel. Day 5 was Springerville to Grants. Lots of gravel roads at the beginning, but eventually we entered a forest and it was really nice. Here we entered a forest. The roads were really nice, lots of different trails. Eventually we lost Mike. Middle grate you see at the top is covering a cave. Here's where Mike and John took the wrong path.
John and Mike, you're going the wrong way. Yeah, you gotta go left. I'm gonna turn you on the other side.
Mike tells us the paths join up again later, so Dave and I went ahead and took the correct path. Dave and I expected them to join us by now. We discussed our options and decided to go ahead. Dave stopped at the top of this hill to shut off his anti-skid. Eventually we broke out of the woods onto a severely rutted trail. Dave and I decided this was a logical place to wait for Mike and John.
If I go left here, I think I'm going to catch up to it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go in on this. Yeah, I'm going for it. If I fall, I'll let you know. This is a steep hill. He's wanting to turn around. Yeah, keep going. We'll figure it out. No, I'm right on. I am right on. I'm going the distance. Yeah. We're doing this, John. We're going down a steep incline. Oh, really? Right, that's okay. Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh, God. If I get lost, I can do 10.
Here comes John after finally figuring out he's not on the route.
Yeah. We did try and tell him.
Well, John wasn't on. Now the question is, where's Mikey?
Mikey insists he's going on that. I'm going to.
And for some reason, John's flipping us the bird.
A bear! A frickin' bear! No!
Day 6 was Grants to Cuba, and this was a lot of fun going through ranches, opening and closing gates, but the tail end had a lot of sand we had to deal with.
Owls.
The first section was a scenic gravel road through the woods and included a little cattle herding. Here we're in the ranch section. I had opened a gate and let everyone through and was in catch-up mode. If you look to the left, you'll see a coyote on a converging path with me. Here it is in slow motion. First 3 guys went straight instead of turning left. I regained the lead, which didn't work out so well for me. I'm cruising along 30 or 35 miles per hour and encounter this deep sand. I would have fallen over, but my side pannier held me up on the berm.
Shit.
Okay, time for a rooster tail.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit.
Our 7th day was Cuba to Angel Fire, and this section was really fun and really challenging. In the morning we rode through some beautiful woods. Then a deeply rutted section along a river. to skip a bypass, my foot hit a rut and down I went.
Is it on?
Mike was more concerned about whether or not he captured it on video than actually stopping to help me.
No, you don't. You're gonna blow a nut. No.
After trying several techniques, I finally lifted the beast by myself.
Hey, mine is on.
The section we went back to catch started with a long hill climb. This sign is barely an adequate warning for what lies ahead. It started getting rocky and rutted. The section ahead looked daunting for my 600-pound bike, so I let Dave take the lead with a 300-pound bike. It eventually smoothed out and we rode to US 64. At US 64, Bill and John headed on back to Angel Fire. Dave and Mike went another 30 miles up the BDR before turning back towards Angel Fire. This road had been flooded earlier in the year by the river on the right. As Mike crossed this area, he was thinking that the hills are alive with the sound of music. After that, we all headed our separate ways, 3 of us to DFW and Dave to Colorado.